All right, that's Grant Morrison, and this here is Doomsday Clock's very own Jeff Johns. Or should I say, this is Jeff Johns. Now keep him in mind when you listen to the latter part of this verse. Keep Johns in mind, and then we'll come back and do Doomsday Clock 5.
Biological germ, bad child burglar on the market, captain of your starship. I never departed once I started to explore these regions that was uncharted. Leave your heart broken. Yo, I stand tall like buildings on Van Dykes or mics. Beat strike like a noisy Ford train late night. Chase got New York feeling like we out of state. Can't smoke a bone in the staircase without getting chased. Penny candy poisonous rappers. Best to chill to get your head gas. Lemon head, sour patch kids. Best to grab a lightsaber. I drug wake ya, Boston Baker. Then plant my sunflower seed on every square acre. The beauty of my nature shown through sequasia I Mecca. When I made myself equality known to my reflector. Stay in your playpen, boy, and battle for your formula and prize. Pacify this lullaby from the black butterfly. Here comes the
As you pacify this lullaby from the black butterfly. Who's the black butterfly? Think about this. On the market, captain of your starship. SJW's best to chill to get your heads gashed. On the comic book sales charts by these two peoples whose work is best suited materials to move the needle. I mean, just think about the allegory there. How beautifully metaphoric that flow was in comparison to what Jeff Johns means right now to the industry. The lullaby from the black butterfly, that was the moth in that beautiful last issue. I'm guessing that's an Eisner nominated issue for Reggie's origin and all the allegory that was wrapped in metaphors, wrapped in an enigma, just like that frickin' RZA rhyme is to what he means to the industry. A lifesaver, jawbreaker, Boston bake ya, and plant these sunflower seeds on every square acre. I mean, he said everything but SJW's best to chill to get your heads gashed. SJW writers best to chill to get your heads gashed by two comic book pro professionals whose material is best equipped to move the needles. I don't know, I'm just fucking around, but I thought I was just listening to that by chance, and I was like, damn, this is so directly correlated to what's going on now in comics. If you look at it like if RZA was rapping from John's perspective, and like John's work stands out from the industry, and it's different. Like RZA stood out from the industry because his style was so different. Just like what John's is now, and still he tops the charts, just like RZA back in the day used to top the charts. I mean, it's unbelievable. And that last issue, like I was saying, with the moth being attracted to the flame, Reggie getting his new origin in prison, like Rorschach did, kind of with the doctor, and then Reggie meets this tripped out doctor, all to find out he's going to go kill the guy responsible for everything, and to find out that guy is already dying. I mean, god damn, was issue 4 just, it was so full of allegory. And then you put this rhyme I found with it. It's just, that's what I'm saying. It's just like metaphors twisted upon, what would you call it? Just analogous. I can't even think of all the different words. You know what I'm saying? It's just unbelievable. But here's Doomsday Clock number 5. I'm a little behind on it. I kind of looked it over a little bit, and I mean, it looks pretty good right here. And this is another thing. You get a lot of different people putting up stuff online, and this is a pretty good picture. But this is why I want y'all to come here. The high def scan with the 4K enhancements. Look at that. Check that out. Some of them come out really good. See, like at least here I try. This is maybe their channel. This is what you're going to get maybe at the other people's channels. Maybe this good. And that's why you come to the fivefold understanding, child. The quiet math right here. See that? Hey, that's a big difference, ain't it? Them, here. Oops. Them, me. And I put that receipt on there because somebody was bitching in the comments that I don't buy the books. Of course I buy the books. I got some kind of morality, and you can help kids with the morality compass by making them read comics. It'll make them think twice about stuff. It's definitely apt for morality. And I just thought I should know that because it was bitching in the comments. But let's get this started. Whoever it was, I don't remember your name, but that's an answer to your question or your comment and your rude behavior. You don't even buy the comics. Any of your patients have one of them near-death experiences or see a light at the end of the tunnel? So there is a heaven? And that's the cop. So there is a heaven? And then the doctor gives the scientific explanation that they were beat over the head with on their coast schools. Any light they might have seen while clinically dead was caused by an increase of activity in the brain. It's called hyperconsciousness, aka there is no God. You know what I mean? Sorry I asked, the blue blood cop, who prays every night before he goes to bed. The difference between, science and just humanity. Evolution and all, right? Because we all know, it was just a big luck, big chance, what we are here as people is just pure luck. Science can define all that in, 70 years or whatever. Give me a break. Through pocketed isolation, horses evolved into elephants. Some did, or a certain horse eventually evolved into an elephant. Like, get the fuck out of here. Through pocketed isolation to better suit its environment. Wow. Can't believe people buy this shit. Right there. There is no God. See, Johns even kind of makes he has that comment in there to kind of make fun of it. And people think, oh, he's doing the SJW thing. And then a page later you turn it or find out that, the allegory is hidden within the metaphor, like I was saying in the beginning. And he's really making fun of it. I'm telling you, man. Johns is the shit. Best origin writer ever, too, by the way. See Flash 182 to name one out of a dozen or more self-contained origin issues. The secret origin, or it's not, it's the absolute origin of Captain Cold. See Flash 182, arguably the best comic ever written. Definitely best origin comic. Blows away Moore's Swamp Thing 23, I think it is, which is really good too. But Flash 182, Collins and Johns knocked it out the park. Another good one, Green Lantern 43, Blackest Night Prologue, Black Hand origin. Just to name a couple. Flash Half Zero, where he does the Trickster's origin. Brightest Day Flash Volume 3 or 4, Brightest Day number 8. He lays the whole Professor Zoom Reverse Flash thing into like 22 pages. The only thing sucked about it, it had the Francis Manapal bleached pastel art that he always thinks is so great. That pastel shitty art. The art's great, but the colors are bad. It was Flash New 52 was like it. It's like this bleached pastel coloring. I think No Justice on the stands right now has it too. It just takes away so much from the artwork. Don't believe me? Go look at Francis Manapal's Legion. But nevertheless, that's another one. Maybe it's Flash 7. Flash 789. One of them is Professor Zoom. Another one he does Captain Boomerang. All books you need to have in your collection. All by Johns. And I think Manapal might have did one, and the other one he got back with Scott Collins. And I want to say that's Scott Collins with one T. Maybe it's one T or one L. One of the best duos ever. Now, sir, now please, take off your uniform, like the fucking Terminator. Was it the first? Yeah, it was Bill Paxton, I think. One of the guys was Bill Paxton. The other dude was the Night Stalker dude from Cobra. And Arnold shows up, like, does the scan. Give me your clothes. Hawk and Dove were arrested by Russia's Rocket Red Brigade and charged with interfering in police business. That's Hawk, Hank Hall, right? He's always in it. John's brought these guys back on Brightest Day. Speaking of Brightest Day, Hawk is no stranger to drama. We know that. And you think the guy knows his cat's name by the name? Bubastis. Is it Bubastis? Bubas? Yeah, it's got to be Bubastis. Maybe you know what I mean? The cop guarding the room, how's he going to know where the cat is? That was kind of dumb. And there's the kitty. In Moscow, their former teammate Red Star condemned Hawk and Dove and announced he would be stepping out of his retirement to serve. See, I remember Red Star from Teen Titans Around the World. Teen Titans 1 year later storyline, also by Johns. That was such a great book, come to think of it. It's like 8 comics. You want to pick up a good Teen Titans trade? Get Around the World. Tony Daniels, Jeff Johns, Doom Patrol's in it. It's got all the Titans backup guys because it takes place 1 year later after Infinite Crisis. While they were doing 52, you know. So there was that void. Infinite Crisis happens. Then 52 comes out the next week. And they got to put the main flagship monthlies back on the stands. JSA, Batman, Superman, Action, etc. And they made all those comics the first 8. I want to say it's most of them were the first 8 issues was a 1 year. Or they all were 1 year later storyline to start. So those all took place 1 year after Infinite Crisis. While everybody was reading 52 to fill in the gap. This kind of reminds me of The Town for some reason when they're robbing Fenway Park. I don't know why. Lois Lane. He does a pretty damn good Lois Lane. You want to check out a super good Lois Lane? Go look at Ed Bennis's Speaking of Infinite Crisis. It was all the Superman issues that led into Infinite Crisis. Ed Bennis did a lot of the artwork on most of them, and his Lois Lane is banging. And in my opinion, he does a different thing with the Jaw than he does Black Canary because he's so known for his Black Canary from Justice League of America with Brad Metzler when they relaunched that. As well as Birds of Prey. Yeah. Best Lois Lane, best Black Canary. Leave it up to Ed Bennis, Mr. Unemployed. Why Marvel or somebody wouldn't hire him to get out some Ancient Avengers artwork is beyond me. At least put out some promo posters or some shit. Let Bennis do the cover work. I even told that dude that shit the other day. I was saying something to him on, where was I? I don't know, some kind of fuck. It might have been Twitter or something. The Avengers writer. Because he's Avengers. And what the fuck? Ancient Avengers was promoted like a year ago in the Legacy #1, wasn't it? And it still hasn't come out with any of that shit. This dude looks evil as hell, though. Posar. I mean, a perfect name, huh? Posar. He's a poser. Firestorm poser. I thought killed in the Chernobyl disaster. I reconstituted years later. About the Chernobyl disaster, interesting note, Vladimir Klitschko, the boxing brothers, the Klitschko brothers, are both from that same area and grew up in the shadow of the Chernobyl nuclear disaster. So did Maria Sharapova. And she's a super hot tennis player. She was super good for a while. I think she got suspended for doping or something, but still. So maybe there's something to it, nuclear fallout and being superpowered. Here's our heroes right here at the thrift store. Rorschach Reggie and Saturn Girl. And Saturn Girl's from the future, Legion, Imra. What's her name? Imra Rands? Her name might have been Imra Ardeen. And then she married the Lightning Kid, Garth Rands. If you want to see more about that, a modern take, Superman Secret Origin, deluxe oversized edition. It's like European cut, I think they call it, where it's an extra inch each way. And they're relaunching that Gary Frank, Jeff Johns deluxe size hardcover. Go pick that up. Full of good Legion stuff. It's just a good book to have. There's 3 of them. There's Superman Secret Origin, Superman Brainiac, and Superman and the Legion of Superheroes, all by Johns and Frank. And it was like a modern Superman framework. It frameworked the whole Kryptonian saga thing they did, Return to Krypton or something. And it had to do with the Lightning Saga, and it all concluded in Last Stand at Kryptonian or something, which was originally called Legion of Superheroes versus Brainiac is what it was initially called. Go read the Wikipedia on it. Go look up Lightning Saga on Wikipedia. I did a lot of that work. I edited tons of that page on Wikipedia for the Lightning Saga. I just can't remember exactly. Last Stand on Krypton maybe or something. But yeah, all good stuff. That was a great time period to be a DC writer. And then it kind of got overshadowed when they did New 52 and they had this different Superman, younger version. So everybody kind of forgot about the Johns and Frank framework. Superman Brainiac, Superman Secret Origin, and Superman and the Legion of Superheroes. 3 books you should all have in your collection. The guy in the far left, I think it's from Aquaman and the Others. There's Red Star, Teen Titans 1 year later is where I first met him. And Posar and Doom Patrol looking chick. From Morrison's latter days on Doom Patrol, we've seen the feminine side of Negative Man. And that's exactly what that reminds me of. And up in the corner here, these men and women will work alongside Prince Markov and his team of outsiders. You want to learn about Prince Markov? His name's Brian, I think, Brion. You can get, I suppose you can get some outsider stuff from the past, but they do like a rundown of Geostorm, Prince Markov, and again, Bendis' Justice League of America. 1 through 7 is Tornado's Path, and then the Lightning Saga. All shit you should have in your collection. They relaunched Just JLA as Justice League of America. At the same time as Johns relaunched JSA as Justice Society of America, and thus Volume 2 was the crossover. We got Shane Davis pencils, Ed Bennis pencils, and Dale Eaglesman pencils on those books, or on that crossover, Lightning Saga crossover. But yeah, that's about Geostorm. For whatever reason, Brad Meltzer has a little tough a spot in his heart for Geoforce, who is Tara's brother. You might know Tara from Judas Contract, famous early 80s maybe. New Teen Titans story, Wolfman and Perez, the Judas Contract. They even did a movie of it. I got the Blu-ray inside. I just haven't watched it yet. Walmart picked it up. Walmart on Christmas, or no, Thanksgiving, Black Friday, they had a bunch of DC animated movies for like $5-6 on Blu-ray. And you know, it's funny. So it says Johnny Thunder there is 102 years old. He first appeared in All-American Comics, or All-Star Comics number 2, along with Sheldon Moldoff's Green Lantern. God, I want to say Nodell, maybe? Nodell and Moldoff's Green Lantern, Alan Scott. So Alan Scott, Johnny Thunder, Both appeared in the same first issue. And if you did the math on it, they were 20 or whatever. I think that's where they get 102. They were like in their 20s back then in 1940. And that's issue 2, which is 3 issues before Wonder Woman's first appearance. Here's a flashback scene. Black and white. Mickey Spillane looking noir. Spats. Johnson, eat your heart out. Jasper Wellington was Alastair Tempest's accountant. And you see Alastair Tempest's accountant. This is an English thing, for good grammar. Anytime a word ends with an S and you want to enunciate it as a plural, you put the apostrophe above it, not 2 S's. If it ends with an S. I don't know why I just told you that. But I don't even know what's going on here. None of this rings a bell. You can only remember so much. Especially with DC, because DC's so deep. When it comes to laid out continuity, continual progression, soap opera over all this time, yeah, it's tough. So he's trying to get on the train, $79. He can't afford it. And so, look at him pigeonholed there between the 1 and the 2. And that's just how people are in real life, too. Move aside, you're holding up everyone else. Tough shit, old man. You don't have enough money to take the train, take the bus. Everybody's in a goddamn hurry for no reason outside of having a heart attack. And that's exactly what he's thinking to himself as he looks at his reflection on the bus he just snuck on. Okay, now back to Veet. Perhaps now John will what? Join you, John? He's read all about him somehow. Because that's not Batman if you look at my earlier work on this. That's not the Batman Bruce Wayne we all know and love. It's an imposter. I said I was Batman on Earth 1 because his logo and his build. Either way, it ain't Batman. I don't care what y'all say. It's not the Batman, rebirth Batman main Bruce Wayne. And that's really the comedian, huh? And see, some of the pages are good, but the text, the lettering decays when I enhance it, It'd be fine if I just left it like this. And then turned it sideways, but then the picture wouldn't be broadcasted right to y'all in your homes. So this is just to piss off Alan Moore, I guess, huh? I heard Alan Moore is just a dick anyway. It's like a snobby, pretentious old wizard. Yeah, she wants to go blow the Joker. And now these guys I don't remember them from the original Watchmen. So they're what? Earth 5 or Earth 4? Because Earth 5 is Earth S, Earth Shazam. Earth 4 is the charlatan characters from Charlatan Comics, Captain Atom and whatnot. And I know Moore tried to do twist versions of them for Watchmen, but are these guys from Watchmen or are they from Charlatan? And look at, there it is. They purposely want to show you the bat logo is different. I mean, they want to say it out loud. And how dumb would it be for Johns and Frank to, oh, use our same old bat suit on this Batman? What do you mean? Oh, we're going to use our Earth 1 bat suit on this Batman. Oh, why? Oh, I don't know. Because that's what we do. I mean, think about it. It's for a reason, you guys. Johns is all about continuity. Frank's taken forever, like he should, to draw masterful pages that I don't mind waiting for. They're going to get it right. The only screw up was that cover where where we seen the real Batman. So I would just ignore that comment right there. What do you want in my world? If it is your world, you ain't Batman. You're in disguise. You go back and look at my theory, Batman's off searching out the Three Jokers storyline. So he got an imposter to hold down his spot while he was out running around, because this is 1 year later. Just like that Titans 1 year later trade I was telling you all about. But that was 1 year after Infinite Crisis. This is 1 year after where we are now. Probably 1 year after the Batman wedding. SJW writers, best to chill and get your heads gashed. Of course, Rorschach escaped. There's Firestorm. I love Firestorm. Too bad they watered down the character with Jason Rush, and then for some reason on TV his name is Jefferson, right? Even Uncle Ethan hated doing it for Firestorm, and because it watered down the character. They got to kill that other Firestorm off. Because this guy right here, he could be the answer to DC Universe's Spider-Man. Or DC's answer to Spider-Man could be Firestorm. Put him back in high school and stuff, I'm telling you. He's a super fun, powerful character. And his old classic villain, propaganda twisted witch, Killer Frost. She references Metamorpho, Man-Bat, Clayface, made in the good old USA, and he's saying how it's bullshit. Disturbing video surfaced today of American journalist Jack Ryder missing for 3 months after he was abducted by King Cobra in northern Canada. Jack Ryder? Isn't that... what's his name? The Creeper. And they do their Johnny Jihad thing here right when he's about to die. And that was probably more bullshit Clinton-Obama propaganda ISIS. Johnny Jihad and these beheadings on TV were probably filmed in the Arizona desert. I'm not even kidding you, man. Think about it. Trump wiped ISIS out in, 2 months? Obama acted like they were the coming of the Antichrist. Think about that. That's how much bullshit these political people are about. Look at how nice that page came out. I tried to bring you all a good page, good-looking audio, good-looking video. So if you don't want to listen to the audio, you can just mute my annoying ass out, I suppose. And then even V here says, you do realize these protests below are for you. Kind of saying, Batman's a dumbass, because it ain't Batman. That's funny. Creeper made an appearance. Yeah, they definitely, some of these, the dialogue lettering decays when I do this to enhance it. Damn, already half hour. Don't feel like a half hour. The Superman theory. And you see all this quote bubble isn't connected to these ones because that's the last comment of the first panel on the third bottom line. You and I can work together on exposing the truth. That wasn't my headline. The top. Makes you wonder if the top's going to show. Yeah, right, huh? Flash villain. Okay, what was his name? Roscoe Dillon, maybe? And just when you're getting used to Superman in the blue one piece, they bring back the briefs. Not that I mind, I don't care. As long as that's the real Supes. Thank God for Dan Jurgens. Superman and Lois series that was the fallout of Convergence brought him back. He was there the whole time watching. That was pretty cool, I thought. Like, who is this Superman? And there's Johnny Thunder getting off the bus ride he snuck on. And that's another thing, like Batman, R.I.P., Morrison stuff. There was hints in the graffiti. So always pay attention to like graffiti in the background because there's clues and stuff in it. There is no future. There is no past. Like that could be a Legionnaire lost in time like Starman was during the Lightning Saga. He had all these rhymes and riddles and people are like, shut up, dude. And see this right here, All-American. It almost says All-American Comics. Should have been the All-American Comic Book Factory. That would have been so smart. I suppose you can't think of everything, though. And I think these pages look better when you cut down the white on the side. See how this has got the white border? I like it better when it's like this. And what is he looking down there? They tried to melt it down. He's got to find the lantern. He's looking for Alan Scott's lantern. That's pretty sweet. Just a bunch of scuzzoids. Look at these guys, how ugly and gross they are. Give me what you got, man. I'm looking for my friends, please. I'm an old man. You cling to a simplistic morality based on pulp heroes and Arkham Asylum's revolving door. I wonder, is that why John came here? Is he talking about Johns, the Martian Manhunter from Mars? Is being in here with me truly what you desire? His famous line from Justice League. Justice League, the cartoon that led into Justice League Unlimited. Anybody who was a big DC fan went crazy when that show first came out. We all love Batman. We like Superman. And then, bam, they hit us with the whole league. Super Friends is back. And now here we are years later waiting on what? Young Justice 3? As long as it's not repetitive like Young Justice Volume 1 was. Wasn't bad, and it's fun to see all those characters, but Young Justice had just a lot of what the hell's the word? Repetition. I can't even say it. Repetition. And there's Black Adam. He always shows up in big storylines. At least under the Johns era. Kandak is his home. I think he was last seen in Sinestro, the monthly Sinestro series, which was pretty good. I wish I would have read more of it. I got him inside. I got a lot at the Comic-Con. They're just still sitting there. I should almost put that up. My comic. What do you do? People put up what they buy at their Comic-Con takes or whatever. Comic-Con hauls. And they switched Black Adam's outfit in New 52, and that was Frank and Johns too who did that. Started in Justice League Zero. Oh wait, I think there's two of these. Yep. See how good of a page this is? It's a really good looking page. There's the Lantern. But at the Fivefold Understanding channel, you get the quiet math. Look at that. You might get this elsewhere. This good elsewhere. But here you get this. See the digital scan 4K enhancement? Why you come here for the better video, for one. Plus, we like to know our shit. Because truth matters. Batman's falling gas-powered cable gun. Bam! Right on the gargoyle's kneecap. And there's an Antifa metaphor down there. Yelling at buildings. Resist! Resist! Resist Trump and all the pedophile. If you look it up, there's been a lot of pedophile rings going down. Just some big thing got busted recently in New York. Nexium, that sex cult with the lady from Smallville or whatever. I can't remember her name. But you look up the Nexium sex cult's charges. They're child trafficking charges. Shit they don't even mention on Fake News 2020. Or it was 60 Minutes. One of them did a little expose. And they didn't even mention the child trafficking charges. Damn, they're going to kill Johnny Thunder. Oh, there it is again. Them, me. See that? It's pretty good. But look how much better that is. See the difference? I skimmed on us there. I forgot I did that one I think I did that one 3 times. Sometimes they won't delete right away, so they get stuck on there. Well, at least he didn't die. See, she knows. Oh, don't worry. They're all going to overdose tonight anyway. That's a great line. Damn, they showed up just in time. As these fuckers dumped the bat light on the ground. That's crazy. Just turning Gotham upside down. And you know who's going to be pissed. The Joker. I always turn to the last page when I buy these big comics. Kill them all saga crossovers. I don't know. I spoil it right away. And look at that guy to the Joker's right on the far left of the screen. Looks just like Dum Dum Dugan, huh? From Captain America. You know what's funny is I was watching Captain America, the first Captain America movie. Dum Dum Dugan shows up, and believe it or not, it's that guy who appears in every WB episode. just watering down the villainy of the WB. What's his name? Donnie Darko. Damien Dark. Damien Dark. He's on Legends. He's on Arrow. He's on The Flash. Oh no, it's Damien Dark. But Damien Dark played Dum Dum Dugan in that movie. And that's definitely a little shout out to Dum Dum. Joker looks good here in the far right, but I don't know if I like this kind of almost feminine, skinny look for him. That don't do him any, unless that's one of the other Jokers too. We don't know, I suppose, huh? The three Jokers right there. Rorschach says it all. Tell us, explain. Look what we found. Damn, Antifa got him. So I told you it wasn't a Batman. Look at that dude. Look at his body. That is not Bruce Wayne. I'm telling you. And if it is, it's Earth 1 Bruce Wayne. And then right there, look at the moth. I was telling you about RZA in the beginning. The lullaby from the Black Butterfly was the moth. John's the moth too, but in the story, the moth. You know? Because issue 4 was such a poetic allegory. The lullaby from the Black Butterfly. Just like RZA says in that flow. You got to give me props on that, man. There's so much symmetry there. It's ridiculous. And give me props on the Batman thing, because I told y'all, when men make gods, there is no God. Now there is some extras too here. And these didn't come in so good, so I rescanned them later. The metahuman arm race heats up. Black Adam wants them all to come to their country. Geostorm. Well, I call him Geostorm? It's Geoforce. That's Brian. Was I calling him Geostorm? Yeah, he's in Justice League of America. Brad Meltzer is a soft spot for him. All right, we can find the scans on those. The troubled past and future of Kandak. One of the most dangerous nations in the world now appears to be the safest, at least for those who live within it. Located in the southern tip Sinai Peninsula, Kandak has been plagued for centuries by dictators, civil wars, and genocide, until an ancient myth, that of the mighty Adam, became a reality. Let's see if the other ones scan better. Hang on a second. Yeah, you can kind of make that one out a little better. There is a legend in Kandak about a magical champion, the mighty Adam, who helped free the people from slavery and the rule of Prince Akhtan. And I don't know if that was 5,000 years ago, because Black Adam's original origin is about 5,000 years he had to travel or something. But their freedom was short-lived as the mighty Adam disappeared soon after. Thousands of years later, 5,000 years, a man claiming to be mighty Adam, now calling himself Black Adam, reappeared. He battled the Shazam family in Philly before returning home, where he confronted and slaughtered the then dictator and his army. I want to say that's 52. C-52, the original 52, not New 52. He's in New 52, but see the original 52, a big chunk chapter of that is all about Black Adam. In confrontations with more of American metahumans, Adam agreed to stay within the borders of Kandak, a country where he was celebrated as a hero. However, the day the U.S. and Russian militaries began to withdraw from the Middle East, Adam entered Syria to confront King Cobra. All right, Black Adam. Hang on a second here. I got some stuff on him. Black Adam was a big deal in 52. Adam Hughes J.G. Jones did an origin in the back. But this is just what I was talking about. 52, not New 52. This is immediately following Infinite Crisis. It's about ISIS and him, and here's some of that origin. See how the suit's different there? That's the classic suit. Just let everybody know who this guy is if they don't know too well. At least you get a little something here in his origin. I don't have part 2 to it, but like we say, go buy the book. Go buy 52. You should read it anyway. It's that good. Read Infinite Crisis, then immediately after read 52. Now, in the wake of 52, these were technically 1 year later, but it's not stamped it because these really do come, in real time, I guess you could say. This was they had like 6 series. It's called the 52 Aftermath series, Shadow Pact was one. Blue Beetle was one. John's Booster Gold with Jurgens and Norm Rapman was another. That was really good. Super good. All the way through Giffen when he took over. That's Booster Gold Volume 2, essentially. Those you should read. This you should read. So 52. Infinite Crisis, they kind of touch on him a lot. No, not a lot. They touch on him prior to it in the 80-page giant. There's a book called Countdown to Infinite Crisis. Black Adam's in that. Then Infinite Crisis happens. He's in the background somewhat. Then bam, 52. We just looked at that. Then after 52, this happens. Peter Tomasi, known for Green Lantern Corps, Superman Rebirth, Doug Mockney, Green Lantern Rebirth, Green Lantern Blackest Night. Most people say Blackest Night this, Brightest Day that. Well, you should also read the Green Lantern version of Blackest Night and the Green Lantern version of Brightest Day. Those are both really good series. I want to say especially Brightest Day. It was like Green Lantern Brightest Day is a 9-part series, and it's super, super good. And I want to say it's all drawn by Doug. There's issue 2. See right there, from the pages of 52. There's some inside work here. This is some of Doug Mockney or Monkney. I don't know, is it Doug Mockney or Doug Monkey or Monkney? Who knows? But he's from Twin Cities. And then right after that, John's JSA exit, or JSA, how I said it got relaunched as Justice Society of America. His last story right here, the Faces of Evil story, was Black Adam. So I'll take you through the whole timeline damn near. This is pre-New 52 stuff. If you want to follow the continuity of Black Adam, like I said, this is like the next one on your path would be this. And I want to say it's a 4-parter. Yeah, there's this one too in there. Or this is the next one, Origins and Omens. And this is some really great shit. This book, I remember this being really good. And then after this, we don't see Black Adam at all until Frank and Johns take over with Justice League Zero. New 52 Justice League Zero. They brought the Shazam mythology back into play, got rid of the Captain Marvel totem or topic title, I guess. Gave Black Adam a new suit. Gave Billy Batson, Captain Marvel, a.k.a. Shazam, now a new suit. That was Justice League of America 0 New 52. And then it was as a backup in Justice League of America New 52. And that's also a really good Justice League run. I just like the Bennis one. It's short, it's sweet. Lightning Saga, and I'm a big Legion guy. Go back even farther. This might be his first modern appearance in the 80s when they really kind of brought Black Adam back. I'm not sure. It just was in here, so I clipped it. Forgot to mention it. This goes back way, way before all that stuff. If you want a little, something a little more ancient when it comes to the ancient one, Black Adam. And to my knowledge, Black Adam's last appearance was in Sinestro, as I mentioned. Right there, some Uncle Ethan artwork. I don't know why he made Sinestro's neck so big there. You're going to have to ask Uncle Ethan about that himself. Comic Artist Pro Secrets channel. Look at how big he made Sinestro's neck there. Looks like a Sasquatch. He almost doesn't even have a neck. But this is the last time I think we heard from Black Adam. And this is right before Rebirth. Probably within months. 6, 7, 8 months of Rebirth at the very most. And this, if you want to watch some, you want to watch some animated stuff, this is a super good DVD if you can find it. Hard to find, and you're not buying it just for the Superman Shazam Return of Black Adam. I think it's like a 40-minute short or 40-minute movie. You want this for all the extras on here. They got a Green Arrow short on here, a Catwoman short, Jonah Hex short, the classic Brave and the Bold episode, Chill of the Night, about Bruce Wayne's origin with the Phantom Stranger and Spectre, is also featured on this. and it's appropriately named DC Showcase. Should have just been called Showcase Presents, but people aren't going to buy it if they don't see Superman on it, is what they think, and that's why it's titled such. But pick this up, because it's not even about what you see here, and that might even be worth picking it up alone. It's about all the shorts that are on here. I'm not kidding you. This is like almost 3 hours worth of DC shorts. There's a lot of good stuff here. And it's more Black Adam. Earlier I mentioned Ed Benes and Lois Lane because Gary Frank draws a pretty good Lois Lane. That's what I was talking about right here. Because OMAC Project was another series that led into Infinite Crisis. Not necessary. It's a better idea than it is a story. I'd avoid it altogether. It's by Greg Rucka. I usually think his work is horse shit if it's not Wonder Woman related. But yeah, Lois Lane, Ed Benes. Check that out, huh? That's what I was telling y'all. No one draws a better Lois Lane than... People say, oh, Gary Frank. No way. Look at this Ed Benes Lois Lane. Is it money or what, guys? Wow, look at that. Ed Benes. The most underrated artist in the game. And the best Superman artist, too, in my opinion. Back to the Doomsday Clock extras. We have this on the whole metahuman crisis, or whatever it was called. I'll read this little part here about Metamorpho. He first appeared in Brave and the Bold in the 60s. I want to say it was issue 55 or 58. I might be wrong on that. Here we go. And also, he's in Justice League. There's a two-parter in Justice League featured all about Metamorpho. During a tax fraud investigation in industrial Simon Stagg, government documents from the Department of Metahuman Affairs leaked to the public, revealing an elaborate ruse. Soldier for Hire Rex Mason was identified as meta-positive by the department and purposely exposed to an ancient energy source in an attempt to trigger his metamorphosis into a metahuman. Dubbed Metamorpho, Mason is considered a manufactured superhero because they get more M's in there, more double enunciations. Jesus. Mason is considered the first manufactured superhero. Found guilty of tax fraud, Simon Stagg fled the country and is currently missing along with Metamorpho, Mr. Rex Mason himself. Man-Bat right there towards the binder in the bottom. Dr. Kirk Langstrom. Research was funded by the Department of Metahuman Affairs, transforming into the monstrous Man-Bat. Dr. Langstrom vanished after he went public with his connection to the Superman theory. I think this is a lot of propaganda that Killer Frost is spitting. Especially got Firestorm, in direct opposition. Lady Clayface, that's a new one, huh? We got these other goons here. Element Girl at the top in the middle. I think that's just a play on Elastigirl from Doom Patrol, Rita Farr. And Element Girl's former lover, upper right, Samuel Reese. He had a stupid nickname, but he's dead. Died in hell. Dr. Dread. Here's Dr. Dread. He's on here first for a reason. This is probably somebody special in disguise, too, I'm thinking maybe. Firestorm, Man-Bat. You want some good Man-Bat, go get New 52 Dark Knight. I don't know, I'm going to say issue 19. I'm not sure, maybe it's 20-something. Uncle Ethan Van Sciver did a beautiful Metamorpho, or beautiful Man-Bat drawing. I don't know if he completed the comic, but there's this 2-page splash of Man-Bat, and it is, this is an Eisner Award-winning splash page. It really should have been. The other extras we got, this here. Knights Incorporated. This is around the world stuff. France. Crimson Fox. We'll talk about this Knights Incorporated in a minute. The Doom, Celsius, Seraph. This is that biblical stuff. A lot of writers have been writing about the Nephilim and these giants because Ancient Aliens really brought back Genesis 6:6 into perspective with their examinations and whatnot. Go read it right in the Bible, Genesis 6:6, how the angels, the children of God had sex with the women of man, and their offspring were the men of renown who became feared giants in the Old Testament, and it's supposedly the reason for the flood. And you hear all the giant stories. And I don't care what anybody says. They're not talking about the bloodline of Cain. And if they are talking about the bloodline of Cain, Cain wasn't Abel's real brother. He was a giant as well, with that angel blood, seraph blood, almost. And a lot of that seraphim translates as angel or serpent, winged serpent. And then you can cross-reference that with the Maya god, Kukulkan, the flying serpent. A lot of connections. And these writers are pulling that from the History Channel's Ancient Aliens show, which really brought that back onto the map. Talk about the Knights here in a second. Geoforce, I was calling Geostorm, I think, by accident. I think there's a movie called Geostorm, that's why, a recent movie. But the Great 20, bottom right corner, props to China. The reason Rebirth had a new Superman series Rebirth had the new Superman series is because China, so many people in China love Superman. And that's why they're like, let's do a Chinese Superman. Why not? And there was always a force in China, and this goes back, God, I want to say Grant Morrison had something to do with it 10 years ago, a book called The Great 10. You could check it out. It's a mini-series. I don't know much about it. Outside of it was all about Chinese histories based on their very, very rich mythology they have there in China. And I guess they added 10 more. The Great 10 are now the Great 20. But there's some cool stuff going on there. And in the right writer's hands, that could really be something worth reading. I don't think Morrison wrote it, but he had something to do with getting the Great 10 out on the newsstands, the maxi 10-part series. And then we already talked about Posar, the Poser, born in Chernobyl. Okay, Knights Incorporated. Here we go. Where's that? Oh, look at this. Just a quick side note. Metal. Look at this. What does that look like to you guys? I don't know who drew that, but this came out a long time ago. Judge Dredd, Dark Justice, I believe. Who do those guys look like? The Dark Riders or whatever they're called from Metal. The Man Who Laughs. I thought that was a scary similarity, and so I screenshotted it. But yeah, isn't that something? Makes you wonder if that's where Snyder and those guys got that idea. Knight and Squire. Where the hell did it go? Did I just go right over it? Yeah, right here, the Knights. This is about English superheroes. No one did English superheroes up until Morrison brought them back in Black Glove, the real Batman. The best Batman you'll ever read, hands down. Okay? The best Batman, Grant Morrison's Batman. Knights Incorporated. See how it's a chick here? I guarantee you that's Beryl. And if you read this, it talks about how the Knight disappeared. The Knight is Cyril. Okay? Cyril the Knight, Beryl is his sidekick. There's so many characters over there in England. You could have 10 series. I'm not kidding you. You could do the whole Jack Kirby New Gods thing with what the United Kingdom has to offer because of Paul Cornell. Here, let me show you. All right, see this right here? This was just a small chunk of Grant Morrison's Batman listed there on the screen. Beautiful page, huh? Look at that. Give me props. Like I said, y'all come here for some good visuals. There you go. Detective Comics, upper right corner of the screen. You see that? That's the first appearance of the Batman of All Nations, Batman Incorporated, another Morrison smash hit that absolutely destroys any kind of book Snyder or even Scott King could put out with what they did with Batman. Not that Snyder's Detective Comics weren't the best at, actually that can stand up in a pool by itself. Snyder's Detective. But everybody's always, Scott, or what's his name? King? Is his name Scott King? The guy that's writing Batman Rebirth. But most people don't have nothing to compare it to outside of Snyder's Batman, King's Batman, Snyder's Batman, or the Legends of the Dark square bounds they got at home, or the Batman Greatest Adventures Ever Told book they got for Christmas from their little sister, Morrison's Batman is the best. And they first appeared up there, the Knight and Squire. That's like in the 50s. Well, Morrison brought him back. Except the Knight he brought back in the black glove, lower right corner. That's the series in the first issue. All leads into R.I.P., by the way. That Knight was the original Knight's son. Because the original Knight, who first appeared in the 50s Detective Comics issue, was killed by Spring-Heeled Jack. Who's Spring-Heeled Jack? There's a lot of mythology to it being an actual real, very real character from early Victorian London, I want to say. But anyways, he's going to transform time and myth, and there's real stories, just like Sasquatch. Sasquatch is real. So there's real Sasquatch videos, and then Sasquatch is also in comic books, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, check out Spring-Heeled Jack. That could be a story all itself, how the Knight became the Knight. And the Knight that we just seen in the back there is Beryl, guarantee it. Beryl took over the Knight's armor when Cyril disappeared. And this series that comes out of Morrison's Black Glove, The Knight and Squire, is the best miniseries I ever read. I mean, look at the cave. Look at how sweet the Knight's cave is. I mean, it's and in this book, Paul Cornell, in 6 issues, I want to say delivers like 200 different heroes and villains. I mean, he shows you what the landscape could be, just populated with. I got some pages I could show you because I was thinking about putting up some Knight and Squire on the channel. Here, check it out. This stuff pops. This stuff pops like you wouldn't believe. There's the Milkman, who Doom Patrol might have stole for that Milk Wars thing. I don't know. They might have. I didn't read it or none. I just seen Milkman, and I thought, damn, Knight and Squire had that dude a long time ago. Just look at how it pops, though. Jimmy Broxton's art. And there's this bar where heroes and villains, they come together, It's crazy what goes on in this series. I mean, if I had to plug anything that's a little different and fun, get this. But you should read the Black Glove, Morrison's Batman, Batman and Son, Black Glove, 3 Ghosts of Batman. Yeah, I did some scans for this, and boy, look how good they came out. There he is again. The Milkman, look at that dude. The 3 Minstrels. Look at this. The first 11, Magic, True Magic, get the classic villains too. Yeah, it's just this bar where everybody comes together. When they're at this bar, everyone is amnesty, and all rivals and all grudges are supposed to be left outside the door. It's the one place everybody can come and not have to worry about anything bad happening. It's just incredible what Paul Cornell did in this series. Man, it is late as shit. I didn't know it was almost 4 in the morning. Fuck. But see this Eagle Moss graphic novel collection? There they put the stuff in order. And a lot of times the Morrison stuff gets, kind of dissolved or back-tabled, is because, how do I say this? It wasn't continually, you might have to read issue 666 before you read issue 672. Or wait, no, that doesn't make sense. It's not truly linear all the time, and the issues need to be played in the proper reading order because he doesn't always deliver a linear delivery. Or, a linear pay. He doesn't always deliver a linear package. But see that Eagle Moss book there in the corner, the Black Glove collection by Eagle Moss? Eagle Moss did like 20 of these books. I think they were a big deal in Europe or something, and they're all perfectly in order. But I have this too, I did. Oh, that too, by the way. This is for some other thing, but why Andy Kubert's Joker is the best? Side note. I mean, that's why. Right here. The 3 Ghosts of Batman, another Morrison thing. You take 3 Ghosts of Batman, Black Glove, right? And you framework it with R.I.P. at the end and Batman and Son, which is only 4 comics anyway in front of it. and you're going to read some of the best shit you ever read in your life. That's why I got all the numbers on there for you guys and everything. See, that's why I sub it up here. Look at this. You don't get this shit on other channels, do you? You get that one guy going blah, 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 blabbing at you, spoiling everything, never giving you a reference or a goddamn comic of what, or you know what I'm saying? Never gives you the comic numbers or nothing. That's why I started doing some of these, because I don't even know their names. I don't want to know their names, but they piss me off the way they do those, where they explain the history. You know what I'm saying? They got holes in their delivery. Everybody does. But here you get a thorough take. And you get some nice visuals. But yeah, this must-read shit is why you guys need to drop the Snyder King argument. Because Morrison blows them both out the box. You can reference to the back at the early part of the video. You know, him and John sitting there. And that was just coincidental. Outside of that, for the extras in The Watchmen, we got kind of off track there, kind of. Yeah, the video's getting too long. Other extras, we had this in the back. This is just a little poster in the back. And I think this is kind of saying Superman's coming to Doomsday Clock, you know. The story's going to start to focus more around Superman. And this is 1940s-esque World's Fair type of eat your heart out stuff. And then had a preview for this, Batman's Wedding coming soon. Tom King, that's his name, if I was saying it wrong. Yeah, everybody's arguing Tom King or Snyder, Tom King or Snyder. And most of you guys don't even argue Snyder's detective. But really, you know, it's Morrison. And then this is a beautiful ad too, by the way. This was really good, or I shouldn't say I haven't read it all. I got the first couple of these and I was really impressed. This should have been Supergirl Rebirth. Whoever these people are, they did a real bang-up job. Out now in hardcover. It's 4 prestige format square bounds, kind of done in the classic sense. But this, if you're at the store and you got some extra money, pick this up. I'm telling you, you will not be disappointed. Or get the original version, which more continuity is the Jeff Loeb Superman Batman Volume 2, which in itself continues in Supergirl 0, a.k.a. Superman Batman 19, and then Supergirl 1 through 5. Not related to this. That's when Loeb brought back the original Supergirl, because after the crisis, she died. Her ship reconstituted in space. You know, because the crisis reset the DC timeline. So all those other Supergirls were thus imposters. That's how they did it, because the real ship was stuck in hyperspace. I can't remember what it's called. There's something, I don't know. But outside of that, folks, we got some of this stuff coming soon. This ought to be fun. I want to do Batman 700 too. I've been kind of working on that. There you have it. Beautiful outside here, Twin Cities, 4 in the morning. The saga continues.